For the section 1, Financial Management Fundamental. What is the primary objective of financial management and how does it influence decision making in a company? Provide an example to support your explanation. So here our answer. The primary objective of financial management is maximizing shareholder wealth, ensuring that company resources are efficiently utilized for profitability and growth. It influences decision making in 3 points, following by the first one is investment decision. Investment decision is determine where to allocate funds. For example, we can choose expanding operation or purchasing new equipment. Both of them is to improve our quality of product, and for expanding operation is also to efficiency for deliver our product to our customer. From there we can get more positive response from our customer. Or also purchasing new equipment, we can improve our product and efficiency time for production, and also we can get happiness for our employee to easily make their work more easy and make their mood more happy. For second decision is financing decision, choosing the best funding source. For example is issuing stock and taking loan. This is very important because this is the representation how our internal control is good or not. Third is dividend decision, deciding how much profit to distribute as dividend versus reinvesting in the business, because this is very important for the company. They have to choose deciding distribute as dividend or reinvesting in the business. Here's the example. A company has 1 million and is deciding whether to: first, investment in a new factory which could generate future cash flow and increase share value. Second is pay dividend to shareholder, providing immediately returns. The company will choose the option that maximize shareholder wealth, considering the time value of money and risk factor.
Question number 2 is explain the concept of the time value of money or TVM and its importance in financial decision making. How does TVM affect in investment and financing decision? The answer is the time value of money or TVM is a fundamental financing principle that recognizes the fact that money available today is worth more than the same amount of money in the future. This is because money has the potential to earn interest or generate return when invested, making it grow over time. Understanding TVM is crucial for making informed financial decisions, as it helps individuals and businesses evaluate the value of money across different points in time. Importance of TVM in financial decision making. The first is investment decision. Investors use TVM to compare the present value of future return from different investment opportunities. by discounting future cash flows back to their present value. Investor can determine which investments are likely to generate the highest return over time. The second is financing decision. The time value of money is also crucial evaluating financing options. By comparing the present value of different financing options, borrowers can determine which option is the most cost effective, considering interest rates and other financing costs. The third is determine planning. Individuals use TVM to estimate the amount they need to save today to reach a desired retirement income, accounting for factors like inflation and expected return. The fourth is debt management. Understanding TVM can help individuals make informed decisions about how to pay off debt, such as credit card or student loan. This might involve considering the interest rate on different loans, the length of time over which the loan will be repaid, and the potential earning that could be generated through investing the money instead. And the last is business decision making. The time value of money is a key consideration in many business decisions, such, such as whether to invest in new equipment or expand into a new market. By understanding the potential earning that can be generated over time, business can make more informed decisions about how to allocate their resources. Effective VM for investment and financing decision. Effective VM for investment decision is TVM help investor make informed decision about where to allocate their capital. For example, an investor might choose to invest higher but delay return based on time value of money. And for the financing decision, TVM effect is crucial for understanding the cost of borrowing money. When taking out a loan, the interest rate reflects the time value of money. The higher an interest rate, the generate the cost borrowing, as the borrowers the is essentially paying for the opportunity cost of the lender money. Next, question number 3. The question is compare and contrast net present value or NPV and internal rate of return or IRR as capital budgeting technique. Which one is more reliable for decision making and why? The answer is net present value or NPV is the difference between the present value of cash inflow and the present value of cash outflow over the project life. It measures the net gain or loss from an investment, taking into account the time value of money. A positive a positive NPV indicates that the project is expected to generate more value than it costs, while a negative NPV suggests the project is likely the result in a loss. Formula of NPV. NPV equals sigma cash flow divided 1 plus R squared T minus initial investment. And next, internal rate of return or IRR is the discount rate that makes the NPV of a project equal to zero. It represents the annual rate of return that an investment is expected to generate. A higher IRR indicates a more profitable investment. If the IRR is greater than the company cost of capital, the project is considered acceptable. Formula of IRR. NPV equals 0 equals sigma cash flow divided. 1 plus IRR square T minus initial investment. Which is more reliable? Both NPV and IRR are valuable tools for capital budgeting, but NPV is generally considered more reliable for decision making. Here's why. NPV is intuitive. NPV directly measures the net value created by a project, making it easier to understand and compare different investments. The second, NPV is more flexible. NPV can be used with any discount rate, allowing for adjustment based on risk, inflation, and other factors. The third is IRR can be misleading. IRR can produce multiple results for projects with non-conventional cash flow, making it difficult to interpret. The last is NPV account for project size. NPV considers the scale of the investment, while IRR does not. A project with a higher IRR but a small investment may not generate as much value as a project with a lower IRR but a large investment.
And for number 4, financial ratio analysis. A company has current asset of 500,000 and current liabilities of 250,000. Calculate the current ratio and interpret the result. If the company has an inventory of 100,000, calculate the quick ratio and explain the significance. Here the answer. For the current ratio current ratio for current ratio formula is current asset divided by current liabilities. In this case, the current asset is 500,000 divided by current liabilities 250,000. The ratio is 2. A current ratio of 2 indicate that the company has $2 of current asset for every $1 of current liability. Generally, a current ratio of 1 or higher is considered healthy, suggesting the company has enough liquid asset to meet its short-term obligation. A ratio of 2 suggests a strong liquidity position. However, the ideal current ratio varies by industry. Some industry might have higher or lower ratio depending on their operational characteristic. A ratio that is too high might suggest the company is not utilizing its asset efficiently. How? Because if the ratio is higher, it means the asset is more bigger than the current liabilities. It's great, but they need to considering to maximizing the profit generate and efficiency for their company. That will make the company more growth and more improve time by time. Second, for quick ratio formula is current asset minus inventory divided current liability. In this case, quick ratio, the current asset is 500,000, right? And the inventory is 100,000 divided by current liabilities to 250,000. We get our first is 40 400,000 divided by 250,000. We get 1.6. The quick ratio of 1.6 indicates that the company has $1.6 of quick assets. Current asset excluding inventory for every $1 of current liability. This is still a healthy ratio, suggesting the company can meet its short-term obligation. They can pay the obligation. Even without quick liquidating its inventory, the quick ratio provides a more conservative assessment of liquidity than the current ratio, as it considers only the most liquid asset. A higher quick ratio generally indicate a strong short-term financial position. Again, the ideal quick ratio varies by industry.
Question number 5. Capital Asset Pricing Model minus CAPM. Given the following information: risk-free rate 4%, market rate 10%, beta of the stock 1.5. Use the CAPM formula to calculate the expected return of the stock and interpret the result. The formula of expected return is risk-free rate plus beta multiplied by market return minus risk-free rate. So the expected return equals 0.04 plus 1.5 multiplied by 0.10 minus 0.04. Next, 0.04 plus 1.5 multiplied by 0.06 equals 0.04 plus 0.09. The result is 0.13. So the expected return of the stock is 13%. This means that according to the CAPM model, an investor can expect a return of 13% in the stock, given its risk or beta and the market condition. Since the beta is 1.5 greater than 1, the stock is considered more volatile than the overall market. The higher expected return reflects the higher risk associated with this stock. It's crucial to remember that the CAPM provides an expected return. The actual return may vary.
And for the last question, short-term financing decision, XYZ Ltd. XYZ Ltd needs 100,000 in short-term financing to cover operational costs. The company has two options. First, bank loan with interest of 12% per annum. Second is factoring, immediate cash at 5% discount on total receivable, equivalent to 100,000 in receivable. The requirement calculate the cost financing for each option, and based on financial considering which option is preferable, justify your decision with calculation and reasoning. So here our answer. For the first, calculate the cost of financing for each option. Step 1. We have to calculate the cost of bank loan. The bank loan charges 12% interest per annum on 100,000. To determine the annual cost, we simply calculate the interest. So here 100,000 times 12% is we get 1200 that we have to pay for the interest. Step 2. Calculate the cost of factoring. Factoring involves selling receivable at a discount. XYZ Ltd receive immediately cash but sacrifice 5% of the receivable. Value cost of factoring. Here 100,000 times 5% is we get 500. The cost of factoring is a one-time cost of 5,000. This is effectively the price paid for immediately liquid. For the next step, compare the two options. To compare the option fairly, we need to consider time of value of money. The bank loan is spread 1 year over 1 year, where the factoring cost is immediately. If we assume the 100,000 is needed for a full year, then a direct comparison of the cost is 12,000 versus 500 is reasonable. However, if the need for the 100,000 is less than a year, we need to consider the interest cost for the shorter period. Considering in the 1 year period, based solely on the annual cost, factoring is significantly cheaper, where the factoring is 5,000. Considering a shorter period, for example 6 months, let's calculate the bank loan interest for 6 months. 100,000 times 12% times 6 per 12 is 6,000. In this case, the 6-month bank loan cost 6,000 is still higher than the factoring cost. Based on financial consideration, which option is preferable? Justify. And based on calculation, factoring is preferable option, assuming 100,000 is need for entire year or a shorter period is offer substantially lower cost of financing compared to the bank loan. However, it's important considering non-financial factor also. First is relation with the factor, impact on customer relation, and potential loss of control. And that's for our question and our answer for this mid exam. Thank you and